Welcome back to Simplify Your Small Business. David Wolf here with Melanie Rembrandt. Melanie, hello.
How are you today, David?
I am doing supreme. I feel terrific.
Oh, that's good to hear. I like that. I've had coffee, so I feel good.
I had a little bit of coffee. I'm trying to, wind down a little bit. I just get that balance between caffeinated and decaffeinated, I guess, But thanks for joining us, everybody. I want to remind everyone that Melanie is the founder of the Small Business PR Academy, and you can find it at that website, smallbusinesspracademy.com, designed to help business owners like you sort out and execute on PR services if you can't afford them in a big budgeted way, let's say. Right, Melanie?
Exactly. Thanks, David. I appreciate that.
You bet. In this episode, we're going to talk about the tips to deal with a communications crisis. Okay. So if one of your employees posts something negative about your business online, it goes viral, and then you're inundated with negative calls from customers and the press. The question is, what do you do?
Yes. Are you ready for this? Because it could happen. It could be happening right now as you're listening to this. So the first thing you want to do is stay calm. Before you start yelling at an employee or getting really upset, stay calm, take a breath. You want to assess the situation. And if it's really bad, you probably want to reach out to your attorney for legal advice if necessary. So that's the first thing to do.
And we're talking here about one of your employees. So it's an internally generated post, let's say. Is that the focus of this segment? It really is internal as opposed to a customer doing it, right?
Well, it could be a customer, but right now we're focusing on, let's say an employee posts something horrible about the business. Maybe it's a racial slur or something like that goes, he posts it on Twitter or something like that. And suddenly the media takes note of it and it's all over the news before you know it.
All right. So number two is make sure you communicate with your team members right away. So let's talk about this a little bit. You need to instantly be transparent and be real with everybody that's on your team, right?
Exactly. And they should already know this in advance. But if you haven't talked to your team or have a communications crisis plan in place, you want to quick send out a note and say, hey, do not talk to the press and do not post anything online about this matter. You should have a single key spokesperson. And everyone should know that if they get a call from the media, it should be immediately forwarded to that key spokesperson. And at the same time, you also want to let your team members know what they should say to customers about this specific activity that's going on.
Yeah.
So, it's really important just to communicate so everyone on your team knows what to do, because if they start posting more online or say the wrong thing, this is really going to turn into a nightmare quickly.
Yeah, you got to align everybody so the story's the same and consistent across platform, I guess. Yeah.
Right. And it just helps to stop maybe a small issue from turning into a gigantic problem.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Number three is create an action plan. We started moving into that here a little bit, but what are some of the other facets of an action plan we can be thinking about?
Right. I mean, even though you might not think a crisis can happen at your business, it's very easy. Like we said, an employee could just post one little thing. So if you can in advance, you want to create some kind of statement for the press and a place to put that on your website. You want a crisis page that's ready to go so that your customers can go to your website and find out exactly what's going on. And in that same way, you can control the messaging a bit and get your message on the website of what you want to say to the press or anyone visits the site. And you also want to let your customers know what's going on. And also know that kind of goes back to the first step where you stay calm and assess the situation.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the best thing to do is just to stay quiet and kind of see how things evolve. And then go from there. So, sometimes you want to take action right away, but sometimes you just want to stay quiet and see what happens.
Yeah, but a lot of this is just about controlling the narrative, I'm guessing, or doing as much as you can to control, I say control in quotes perhaps, but control that narrative so that it doesn't spin out of control in a way that, it gets bigger than you and you just have no way to control messaging, right?
Exactly. And these are tips for if a crisis happens. Obviously, you'd love to have all of this in place so your employees know what to do. They know what to say in advance. It will make your life a lot easier.
Oh, great stuff. So number one, stay calm. Number two, communicate with team members right away. Number three, create that action plan. Melanie, you rock. Thanks for the information about how we can deal with a communications crisis. You've been listening to Simplify Your Small Business. Remember to visit the Small Business PR Academy. It's at smallbusinesspracademy.com. And you can find my company, Audavita, for the production of podcasts and audiobooks at audavita.com. That's AUDIVITA. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Melanie.
Thanks, David. Thanks for listening, everyone.